Life in prison for a man who pleaded guilty in a 2021 murder case. Good evening and thank you for joining us. Another suspect in the killing of Jordan Lapointe received his sentence today. 41-year-old Derek Turner will spend at least 16 years behind bars after the judge delivered his ruling regarding parole ineligibility. Turner pleaded guilty in March to second-degree murder for his role in the gruesome homicide. The conviction comes with a mandatory life sentence. Turner's lawyer had argued for his client to be eligible for parole in 12 years, while the Crown asked for 18. The judge settled on 16 years due to the severity of the crime. The 33-year-old victim was found dead inside his Frederica Street home in October of 2021 after a fire and explosion at the residence. Lapointe's family members put up signs on the home calling for justice in the horrific case. 22-year-old Michael Gomez was sentenced in January to life in prison with no chance of parole for 18 years. The other two suspects, Ronald Hill and Shane Cabral, have not yet had their case dealt with by the court. The exodus of town council members in Nipigon continues. Last year, 2 of the newly elected councillors suddenly resigned, forcing the remaining members to appoint citizens to fill the vacancies. Now, the other 2 original councillors have resigned as well, leaving Mayor Suzanne Kuko as the last elected official still on Nipigon Council. Lee Noonan reports.
At its next meeting, Nipigon Council will formally accept the resignation of Councillor Catherine Sakamoto. That follows the resignation 1 month earlier of Councillor Gordon McKenzie. They join John Zechner and Pierre Pelletier, who resigned early last year, only months after the October 2022 election. That leaves Mayor Suzanne Kuko as the last person on Nipigon Council to have been elected. Councillors Glenn Hart and Gail Westhaver were appointed following the resignations of Zechner and Pelletier.
If you don't have a stomach for that and you think you're going to get your way all the time, or you don't like criticism, hey, nowadays, if you don't have the stomach for it, you really shouldn't run.
In a written statement, McKenzie expressed disappointment with the mayor and unnamed councillors among his reasons for resigning. He also took issue with council's recent decision to pass a municipal accommodations tax. Although Kuko sat out the accommodations tax debate due to a conflict of interest, she defends the policy.
This is a source of revenue that does not come from, out of the pockets of the businesses. It does not come out of the pockets of the people that live here. It comes out of the pockets of the visitors that come here and enjoy our town, that might enjoy our parks that we're paying for.
McKenzie also alleges council did not uphold a verbal contract with another former councillor. Kuko says there was no evidence of an agreement, and the decision not to pay out an $8,500 invoice was made according to municipal purchasing policies and in a transparent public process.
So there was indeed no agreement that we found, whether that was a contract, a thread of emails, anything that documented that there was an official, any agreement or understanding that sitting councillor would be paid. None of that was presented to us. None of it was found by any of our staff.
In contrast, Sakamoto has confirmed that she resigned for personal reasons and that she fully supports the remaining council. 2 new councillors will be appointed to fill McKenzie and Sakamoto's seats. Kuko expects both positions will be filled before the end of June. She credits township staff for keeping municipal business on track despite the upheaval. Lee Noonan, TBT News.
A Scriber man has been arrested by OPP following a major drug bust in that community this week. It came following a 3-month investigation called Project Plateau, which focused on drug trafficking in Scriber and Terrace Bay. Police executed a search warrant on Centennial Drive and compensated more than 1 kilogram of cocaine, firearms, and cash. The street value of the drugs seized is around $126,000. A 54-year-old Scriber man was charged with cocaine trafficking, possession of property obtained by crime, and 2 firearm offenses. The suspect remains in custody and made his first court appearance earlier today. The Thunder Bay International Airport held its annual general meeting this week. The airport board received an update on the past year, and Graham Ingham was officially introduced as the airport's new president and CEO. The airport had a successful year financially, with a profit of $4.6 million, no long-term debt on the books, and just over $30 million in their investment account. When it comes to passenger numbers, the airport still hasn't fully recovered from the pandemic. The peak before 2020 was around 850,000 passengers per year, and the number for 2023 was about 720,000. We asked Ingham about his goals for the coming year.
Coming up with a strategy that allows us to allocate the resources that we have to support additional land development opportunities for aviation-related businesses is something that we're very, very focused on. We've got about 200 acres at the north end of the airport that's prime for development. So, in the next year, that's essentially kind of where my head's at, and tremendous opportunities.
Ingham also says he plans to focus on existing businesses and helping them expand, as well as supporting the local economy and community. Another Thunder Bay family can proudly say they are homeowners thanks to Habitat for Humanity. The not-for-profit group handed over the keys to the family of four today. The Slaters' new home on Hargrave Street will no doubt provide them with strength, hope, and long-lasting stability. Jordan Lapointe has the story.
Like, just huge thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
Thank you. Thank you.
For Tyrell and Crystal Slater and their kids Paige and Cole, this is a huge day in their lives. Habitat for Humanity has now completed 39 homes for working lower-income families in the Thunder Bay area. The Slaters' new home is a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom bi-level with a backyard. Habitat CEO Lana Vukelik says she's very proud of the family as they take over the keys and the low-interest mortgage for this house on Hargrave Street in the East End.
They've earned all of the requirements of our home ownership program, including the 500 volunteer hours that their family has to achieve, and our family has overachieved that. Their dedication is just outstanding. So today is the day they get the home. And how exciting is that?
The Slater family has been part of the building process since shovels went into the ground in July of 2023. They're now holding the key in front of many supporters and Habitat volunteers. Tyrell Slater says all of the effort was well worth it, as this family has already made countless memories together before moving in.
So overwhelming that we didn't know when this day would finally be here for us. From when it was just a hole in the ground to watching the foundation be built, poured, everything going up the walls, seeing it all come together, it's something we've never been part of before. So to make it ours is even more overwhelming.
In March 2023, the federal government and Habitat for Humanity announced a $25 million investment to build 500 affordable homes across the country over the next 3 years. This day is an example of what these kinds of partnerships can do to better the lives of many.
And that's what Habitat is all about, is about building community, people working together, people working for their home, they're working for other people's home. And, that's exciting. And that's something, that we can all build. It's building community within our community.
Due to Canada's national shortage of volunteers, Habitat is reaching out to anyone interested in helping with these projects to make another family just as happy as this one. Jordan Lapointe, TBT News.
The Wake the Giant Music Festival is turning 5 this September, and to celebrate, organizers announced what they call their most epic lineup yet. It features some big names in the music scene, as well as some local favorites. Canadian band The Arkells will be the headlining act for the festival. The Hamilton group tops the lineup that also includes electronic dance group Galantis and fellow Canadian pop band Walk Off the Earth. Also on the bill are returning favorites DJ Shub, Drives the Common Man, Chester Knight, and Thunder Spirit. The festival organizers from Dennis Franklin Cromartie High School say the goal each year is to include at least 50% Indigenous content to the lineups.
We're also using the festival to educate people. So we're trying to get different age groups to attend the festival so we can also educate them about First Nation issues in this country and some of the challenges that our students face.
There's a lot of sides to Wake the Giant, but another super important part is acting as an orientation and kind of a welcoming party for our kids to make sure that they do have a soft landing when they're here for school and that they're welcomed in a really good way and that they're excited to be part of the community.
I feel great whenever I go to the festival. I feel like I have a place there. I feel like I don't stick out like a sore thumb. So Wake the Giant definitely is more than just the music and the headliners. We're giving you a space here.
Organizers are also unveiling a mystery artist in the next couple of weeks to build interest in the 5th anniversary of the popular event. The concert happens on September 14th at Marina Park, and tickets are on sale now on Wake the Giant website. National Youth Week has begun. The City of Thunder Bay's Recreation and Culture Division is working alongside community partners to create a week full of fun for youth aged 10 and up. The festivities kicked off last night at the Kingsman Youth Center in Northwood. There was Indigenous song and dance, a barbecue, a street art workshop, and plenty of games. All the events throughout the week are free of charge. Some of the upcoming events include a scavenger hunt along Red River Road on Saturday afternoon and a Cinco de Mayo pool party at the complex on Sunday. The goal is to give as many youth as possible the chance to experience something unique and memorable.
So our whole idea behind Youth Week 2024 was new experiences. And not only new experiences, but the opportunity to make some new memories. So whether that be with some new friends, trying out some new activities, or learning new skills, we really want to give youth the opportunity to feel empowered and just try some new stuff.
The full schedule of events and activities can be found on the Youth Move page on the city's website. Officials with Eco Superior have launched their annual Spring Up to Clean Up campaign. Volunteers were helping pick up litter around the Bay and Algoma area this morning. And organizers are encouraging everyone in the city to help clean up around their neighborhoods. Josh Morano reports.
Dozens of volunteers came out to the Nook parking lot for the launch of the 28th annual community-wide Spring Up to Clean Up event. Trash pickers, gloves, and garbage bags were given to all volunteers who spent time picking up garbage around the area. The project is running throughout the month of May. Kennedy Bucci, the Rethinking Waste Coordinator at Eco Superior, says this is a great way for people to take care of our city.
Not only is it important for the litter to actually be put where it's supposed to go in the garbage or recycling, but it also helps people reconnect with the environment and consider their relationship with the land and consider their relationship with waste as well.
The program's goal is to not only clean up garbage, but to bring people together to try and build a healthy future for people and the planet. Each year, up to 11,000 residents participate in the Spring Up to Clean Up event, and organizers say they are already at 9,500, up from the 7,000 they had at this time last year. Coordinator of Waste Diversion for the city, Lee Amelia, says that it's great to see this many people outside and cleaning things up.
We can't believe the participation level of this community. It spreads like wildfire. You see people out cleaning up litter in their neighborhoods, workplaces cleaning up in their streets and alleys, and it spreads. Everybody wants to have a little boost to civic pride, and this is the time of year to do it. It's a really easy action anyone can take.
You see how much waste is out there when you go and actually clean it up. So that makes you take stock of how much waste you're using in your own life, and maybe you can start making some changes, skip those Tim's cups, something like that. So yeah, that's what it's all about.
Registration is still open for those looking to be a part of the event by going to Eco Superior's website to get your cleanup supplies and kit. Josh Morano, TBT News.
Oh, it really does start to feel like spring when it's that Spring Up to Clean Up event starting to kick in.
And I've seen people around town cleaning up, so it's great to see that.
It's already starting. You know, today actually when I was walking the dogs, it was a little bit sunny for a very brief amount of time, but I did see people around Boulevard starting to clean up as well.
Absolutely. So it was a nice start. Yeah. This rain that's been moving into the region, maybe not helping out with those plans today. Popping up to the west and along the North Shore. Thunder Bay, you might feel a little bit surrounded because the rain has so far been everywhere but here. So you can see why we're always saying there's about a 50%, a 60% chance. Well, it's everywhere so far but here. Here in the city of Thunder Bay today, we had a low of 1. We topped out at 9, still a good half dozen degrees below what we should see for this time of year, but it is inching up. Winds were relatively light for much of the day, starting out at about 3 kilometers per hour, mostly from the east. But we did kick up a little bit in the afternoon up to about 20 under those mostly cloudy skies. Across the region, overnight temperatures were staying above the freezing mark in most locations at this hour. We've got a healthy dose of double digits. You can see the warmer air moving in. 12 seems to be the lucky number as you head westward into Red Lake, Kenora, Sioux Lookout, Pickle Lake, Dryden. Fort Frances, just a touch cooler. They're currently at 10 under mostly cloudy skies. Greenstone, very, very gray day at 12 Celsius. And then you see along the North Shore a little bit cooler, 8 in Nipigon, 5 in Marathon, a little warmer on the eastern shores. Wawa and Sault Ste. Marie currently 13 under mostly cloudy skies. Now, tonight we are going to stay above the freezing mark, a low of 3, but we'll also see a few showers likely beginning this evening. We've been missing it most of the day, but not likely to miss it tonight, and especially into the overnight hours. Winds will stay light, but as we head into Friday, things are going to be changing very quickly. We're looking at potentially a lot of wind, the rain disappearing, and potentially some warmer temperatures on the way. Things are going to be moving quickly, and I'll have more details on that later on.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much, Fiona. I'm looking forward to that, the possible quickly getting better, but we'll see, Thank you so much. Well, when we come back, pro-Palestinian protests, along with counter-protests, continue across Canada's major universities, and that's the same in the United States as well. And we'll have more on that as your Thursday News Hour continues.
We're asking the University of Toronto to fully divest its endowment and its other assets